Am I pointing at it? What's up, everyone? Ben Pack here reporting for Giant Bomb. We are here at EVO Evolution Series 2018. Over 8,000 competitors have come to get bodied in their favorite video games. Let's go check it out. Everyone is here. I'm here with one of the founders of EVO. Would you say that, were you involved back in when it was Best of the Best?
Yeah, right. Battle by the Bay was
Battle
our
by the
first
Bay,
year.
that's what it was, at Golfland, right?
Yeah, it's Sunnyvale Golfland arcade.
Yeah, so how would you say things compare, having an event at Mandalay Bay to back there at Golfland with like 40 competitors or something?
Yeah, so our first tournament was in 1996 with 64 competitors, and that was run out of an arcade.
Yeah.
A lot has changed. Of course, bigger venue, more things to do, way more tournaments, but the thing that we've tried to keep constant is that feeling of like stepping up to the arcade machine, putting your quarter up, and then just playing and seeing who's the best.
Yeah, that moment where you're sitting down next to your opponent and you know, it's that give or take of, do I want to like make eye contact? Do I want to, am I trying to project here or am I trying to stealth?
Yeah, there's the whole mental game and the, the way you sit, your posture, you conveying confidence.
Were you like a plopper? Would you like get in there, kind of just try and give off an energy, or are you more of a slide in there, kind of like?
So this is a long time ago, but back when I played, I was pretty down to business, just straightforward, sit down at the cabinet, eyes forward.
Yeah,
right,
quick shake at 2-0, shake hands, walk away.
Exactly. Yeah.
Good. So a lot of things have changed about EVO, not just the venue. There's a lot more games. What do you think about the current spread of games that are represented here at EVO?
So fighting games are interesting. If you're into the genre, there are a lot of subgenres. There's the anime games, the 3D fighters like Tekken, the more traditional 2D fighters like Street Fighter. And what's different today is that we have just so many great games across the breadth of the subgenre. Yeah. So in the anime subgenre, we've got BlazBlue Cross Tag, we've got Dragon Ball FighterZ, which is awesome. So it's a great time to be a fighting game fan where you have so many choices. And if you're into one kind of game, like if you're a really big Tekken fan, you can sort of see maybe a little bit of Tekken or that same spirit in the other games that maybe you're not familiar with.
Over the last 10 or so years, there's been kind of this give and take between esports and the FGC, right? Is our fighting games esports? What do we want that kind of presence? What do you think is so special about fighting games that it kind of has this independence from what many people consider esports?
Well, I think the arcade upbringing that we had gave us a slightly different view of the way that we think about competitive gaming, esports, whatever you want to call it. And it's really about sort of that personal connection that you make when you're playing someone new, someone who maybe you haven't met before, and you're learning sort of about them as a person as you're playing the game.
Right.
And fighting games have that sort of high-speed poker type read where you really have to get into the mind of the opponent. And so we really value playing against like tons of other people and bringing everyone together in sort of like a more democratic way than maybe you see in some other sports where they adopt a pro sports model, where it's sort of about the best of the best playing and the spectacle of that. While that's awesome, we think that is super cool. We think being able to have a space for everyone to play is something that's unique about fighting games that we really want to preserve. This is present in every great esports title, but fighting games, I think, really showcase your ability to put your personality into the way that you play your character. Right. And it's definitely celebrated by the players and fans.
All right, everyone, I'm here with Joey, the president of Triple Perfect, the kind of one of the head honchos of the EVO organization. Thank you for taking some time out of your day to talk to me. This is by far the biggest venue EVO has ever been in, right?
That's correct. This is 375,000 square feet, which is pretty enormous for a fighting game event that started in an arcade with 40 people.
That's right, yeah. So I saw that there's over 10,000 attendees
Yes.
and over 8,000 competitors. So how do you manage something like that? How do you manage, because multiple people and multiple games? How do you go about making sure that this doesn't just burst into flames halfway through day one?
We have a really good core staff that we've accumulated over the years, and they've just been really loyal and really just kind of on our side. So bringing them back year after year and knowing how they know how we do things makes it really easy to kind of expand and do things bigger because we've done it on so many levels. So just the dedication and the planning and all that has all come together, and it creates an amazing event.
What would you say to, I'm sure there's a lot of people, I was this person until I finally went to EVO and had a great time. What would you say to the people who are worried that they're just going to show up, go 0-2 in pools, and feel like they're going to have nothing to do for the rest of the tournament?
That's actually what we do. We cater to those people because we feel like a lot of our fans are players that are not that skilled, and they love to cheer on the more professional players. So that's why we have a pretty big convention hall. And we have booths for people to test out beta games. We have merchandise. We have the BYOC, which is a bring your own console area, which you can play any game you want. If you like Karate Champ from 1980 or whatever, you can play it here with other people. We have an artist alley, which lets people artists sell their wares and stuff like that. That's why EVO is a 3-day event, because we want people to come and play in the tournament and go 0-2, and then they can go around and enjoy everything else that we have to offer.
That's a Goku. That's a Goku. That's kind of like technically some part of Goku Black, I think. That's not a Goku. That's fucked up, Falco. That's fucked up, dude. That's fucked up. That's a Goku. That's a Goku. More like Sailor Weed. That's a Goku. That's a Goku. That's a Goku. That's a Bardock. He does not count. He is not a Goku. That's a Bardock. That is not a Goku. That's a Goku, and that's a Goku as well. That's just a lot of soul bad guy. He's kind of like Goku. He's the Goku of Guilty Gear. This is the EVO snack bar. Full parry your hunger away. All right, I'm here with Justin from The Mix. How you doing, Justin?
Good, man.
So tell me a little bit about The Mix's presence here at EVO.
So The Mix, I'm an indie developer myself. We started with our game, Super Combo Man. We got really close to, the Tom and Tony, the guys who started EVO, and Seth, KILLIAN invited us to show our game, showed a bunch of other indie games, and we started The Mix in 2012. And as we were developing The Mix in our own game, we decided that we wanted to get other developers exposure, and we teamed up with EVO after showing our own game to work with other developers to help present them in this space. So it was cultivated pretty organically, just like EVO itself, and we kind of grew it to what it is today. It's more curated. We want to make sure that the developers have all their signage, everything is organized, that kind of thing.
How has it been kind of trying to grow the presence here as EVO continues to grow?
I think it's good. It's cool to see the diversity of games change. Of course we want competitive games. Of course we want fighting games like Punch Planet. But we also want to kind of serve the hardcore energy that is here. The gamers here, they like technical aspects of the mechanics.
Right.
And so we have games that are not only specifically fighting games, but we have couch co-op games. There's puzzle games. Sometime last year we had some racing games. And so it's now, after the past 3 years of kind of making it the Mix EVO indie event, we've been able to understand how to cultivate that kind of feeling within the player for this specific audience.
I'm here with Dan Fernossi. director of Rivals of Aether, and EVO main stage commentator. Were you up there doing commentary too?
Yeah, I did some
Or
commentary
side stage?
for Rivals of Ether over on the side stage.
It's
So
Ether. It's
Yeah.
Ether?
yeah. Oh,
Dude,
sorry.
This is a whole year. This is a whole year of me talking about this game, and I didn't even know how to pronounce the fucking name of it. You guys got some stream time on an EVO official stream. What was that like?
That was awesome. Yeah. So I've been coming to EVO. I came to my first one in 2013 when I was working on Killer Instinct. So now to be on the stage with our own game, Rivals, and then
Rivals
also
of Ether.
Rivals of
by the
Ether.
way.
And to have the top players duking it out, it was super exciting. Our commentary I did with George, our community manager, and let's say it was not so serious, which was good because I think we do better commentary when we're kind of more relaxed.
Yeah.
So by the end of the tournament, we were definitely joking, and it was a lot of fun.
So you've been to a few EVOs. How do you think this one matches up?
This
to the
one's
other
cool.
ones?
I mean, my biggest thing that impressed me this year is a lot more developer support than I remember seeing. Like when I came with Killer Instinct, and we were kind of like I think we were the only developer there working on a game that wasn't out. But now, like, Arc System Works has a booth, Bandai has a booth, all these developers are here. Smash Bros is here, and you can play it before it's out. So, like, that's super cool to see, like, the fighting game developers actually here with the fans. And a lot of the actual developers are here, too, so they can get real feedback.
There's, like, DBZ producers and stuff playing in the tournament. It's great. I love seeing that sort of stuff.
And fighting game players will not hold back on feedback. That is the one thing. Like, they will play your game and they will rag on your. Like, you could meet a guy who plays Street Fighter every day, and if you talk to him, you'd be like, I hate Street Fighter. It's the worst game. And that's because they're so into it.
Hey everyone, here with Seth Killian. How you doing, Seth?
Excellent.
It's day 2. You said you're happy that your voice is still alive.
I think that's maybe an overstatement, but yeah, I'm scratching my way through.
So speaking of that, you have a long history of commentary, which is something that I'm very interested in. Going way back, I mean, even further than EVO Moment 37, but that's kind of where people kind of realized what I think fighting game commentary potential is.
I think the moment itself was pretty strong, but I was happy to be there. I was happy to be there, yeah.
But what I want to know is kind of how the medium of commentary has evolved over the days. Like, I know there was a big push to maybe clean things up a little bit for corporate sponsors and stuff like that, but the spirit of fighting games is still very much like one-on-one, a group of people around the arcade yelling for their homeboy to win and stuff like that. How do you think a balance is maintained between the two?
For me, and I think actually for everybody in this room at EVO, it really comes down to authenticity.
Yeah.
And I think that's something people talk a lot about, but in an era where there's a lot of money and a lot of great organizations trying to do things and make moves, that's one of the currencies you can't fake, is authenticity and hype and energy from the room.
Yeah.
So if you're able to sort of find your own voice, which I'm barely holding on to mine, but if you're able to find your own voice, I think the crowd respects that above everything else. And for me, it really comes down to the same thing that makes such a great spirit and feeling in the room. Everybody here is making themselves vulnerable by coming out here, most of whom are going to get ripped, like they're going to get destroyed. But we respect that. We love that, right? Like you came out, like you did the thing. It's a hard thing to do.
You hype yourself up, you get ready.
You go
1 and 2 maybe.
Well, who knows, right? And that's a good year for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Just statistically, most people are going to lose. But you make yourself vulnerable like that. And I think commentary-wise, like, it's not necessarily about vulnerability, but it's about speaking from the heart. And I think if you're able to do that, that cuts through the noise. And, some points at esports have struggled with that kind of authenticity. And I think there's a lot of value for professionalism, but I think that's what this crowd really values above everything else.
We did it. We made it. Day 3, 5, 10. I lost track because we're in the middle of a desert, but we did it. It's EVO Grand Finals Day. We're already halfway through. We've crowned some new EVO champions. We've seen some announcements. We fought our hearts out. most importantly, saw a lot of Gokus.